Neoliberalism is failing. This and neoliberalism, of course, a European term. In America, we would refer to it as trickle-down economics, Reaganomics, conservative economics. I think George Herbert Walker Bush said it right, voodoo economics. It's not working. It's not working here. It's not working anywhere. I mean, it's worked tremendously to the benefit of China. But that's about it. And the rest of the world has gotten poorer. And now China is starting to sputter. On Friday, as I was going through the airport on my way to Minneapolis, two airports actually. I flew LA to San Francisco and San Francisco to Minneapolis. Sitting in the airport in San Francisco, I picked up the Financial Times and the headline, and it was like a screaming headline. This was the top third of the front page, or the left 2/3 of the top half of the front page. And it was by Sean Donnan in Washington and Joe Leahy in Sao Paulo, Brazil. And the headline was, "World Trade Records Biggest Reversal Since Crisis." And whenever you hear biggest anything since crisis, you go, Just like, inequality is right now where it was in 1929 when the market crashed, when the economy crashed. And it was approaching that in 2007. But here, this is, things are softening up. And because we now have an international trade system that is run by private for-profit corporations through things like the World Trade Organization, rather than by governments, largely with the exception of China, rather than run by governments who are running their trade policies in the best interests of their country first, center, and last, right? Beginning and end. We're doing this for our country. This is how it was in the United States until the 1980s. Our trade policy was designed to benefit American manufacturers and American workers and American communities. And now our international trade policies are designed to benefit transnational corporations. It's that simple. It's very straightforward. And we're seeing, and it's not unique to the United States. There are depending on the trade deal you're talking about, there are probably close to 70, 80 countries that are involved in all of these various trade deals right now. And increasingly, this is happening all around the world. Is you combine this integration of trade with this. I need a better word than neoliberal, but with this kind of new economics, this new theory that economics is when economics is run by those at the top, the big banksters and whatnot, and the economy gets financialized and manufacturing moves overseas and the rich get richer and the poor get poorer, that's somehow a good thing as long as the stock market keeps going up, right? Well, one of the measures of how well this new worldwide economy is doing is called the Baltic Dry Index. It's a measure of how much stuff is shipped from country to country on top of ships being kept dry from the water, right? Well, and as opposed to oil. Oil is not included in the Baltic Dry Index, to the best of my knowledge. So here's this article from the Financial Times. Weaker demand from emerging markets made 2015 the worst year for world trade since the aftermath of the global financial crisis, highlighting rising fears about the health of the global economy. The value of goods that crossed international borders last year fell 13.8% in dollar terms, the first contraction since 2009. The Baltic Dry Index, a measure of global trade in bulk commodities, has been touching historic lows. Sean Donovan and Joe Leahy write. China, which in 2014 overtook the United States as the world's biggest trading nation, this month reported double-digit falls in both exports and imports in January. In Brazil, which is now experiencing its worst recession in more than a century, imports from China have collapsed. And by collapsed, here's what they mean. They have fallen 60% in just the month of January. Container traffic into Latin America's biggest economy has been cut in half, according to the Maersk Line, the world's largest shipping line. This is a very bad leading indicator. This is a very, very bad leading indicator. And in fact, there's a graph, if you decide to track this down, the sources from the World Trade Monitor, that shows how world trade collapsed in 2008-9 and then maintained itself until the middle of 2014. And then in 2015, it started collapsing again. This is trade by value. I think this is hundreds of billions of dollars. The average from 2011 to 2014 was 135. Now it's down to a little over 105, and it's at 109 right now, and 105 is what it hit when it really crashed in 2008. And along those lines, this from the USA Today. One of the ways that you want to see, in fact, Mark Krantz in USA Today, he says, want to see how much pressure the stock market is under? Get a buck. Got a buck? There are now 359 stocks trading for under $1 a share. Now these are on exchanges. These are actual exchange traded stocks, as opposed to the classic penny stocks that are not traded on exchanges. You have to find somebody to buy them, and blah de blah. But this is. The numbers are just shocking. In 2011, there were 9 stocks. This is from the Russell 3000. And out of those 3,000 stocks in 2011, there were 9 of them that were trading for less than $1. In 2012, there were 11 of them trading for less than $1. We had a bit of a recovery in 2013 and 14. There were only 2 stocks trading for less than $1 in 2013, all of 2013, all of 2014. In 2015, it went up to 13 stocks trading for less than $1. This is out of the 3,000. And as of February 25th, 2016, there are 43 stocks right now trading under $1 just on the Russell exchange. And the headline that they've got, this is according to S&P, we have gone from 60 stocks trading. This is in the various worldwide markets, 60 stocks trading under $1 to, and this has just happened in the last 8 months or so. It's gone from fewer than 100 stocks trading for under $1 to 359 today. Citibank issued a report. The headline, this from CNBC. The headline by Leslie Schaefer, Citicorp, risk of global recession rising. The risk of a global economy falling into recession is rising as fundamentals remain poor. Now, the reason I bring all this up, and there's more to this, I could go on, but I think I've made my point, is that during times of economic turmoil, which I believe we are entering, people tend to reach out to radical solutions. Whether those radical solutions are FDR making the government of the employer of last resort, or whether it's Mussolini or, in this case, Trump.
This is the Thom Hartmann Program.
This worries me tremendously. You'll recall, Germany and the United States both faced the Great Depression. We made our choice with FDR. They made their choice with Hitler.
To watch more clips from our programs, hit the Watch More Videos button over here. And please be sure to hit the handy-dandy subscribe button so you'll always be up to date. Tag, you're it.